In the quiet town of Willow Brook, where the mornings were painted with golden sunlight and the evenings whispered with the rustle of autumn leaves, Officer Ethan Carter was a man of duty and discipline. He had been a police officer for over a decade, respected by the townsfolk for his unwavering commitment to justice. But beneath his tough exterior was a heart that carried the weight of loneliness. Ethan had lost his family in a tragic accident years ago, and since then, he had buried himself in his work, finding solace only in the rhythm of his daily patrols. One cold December evening, as the first snowflakes began to fall, Ethan was driving back to the station after a long shift. The streets were empty and the town was wrapped in a serene silence. As he passed by the old oak tree near the edge of the forest, he heard a faint, almost inaudible whimper. He stopped his car, his instincts kicking in. Following the sound, he found a small, trembling dog lying in the snow. The dog's fur was matted, his ribs visible through his thin frame, and one of his paws was injured. His eyes, however, were what struck Ethan the most. They were filled with a mix of fear and hope, as if the dog was pleading for a second chance. Without hesitation, Ethan wrapped the dog in his coat and took him home. He named him Buddy, a simple yet fitting name for the little creature who had somehow found his way into Ethan's life. Over the next few weeks, Ethan nursed Buddy back to health. He cleaned his wounds, fed him warm meals, and gave him a cozy bed by the fireplace. Slowly but surely, Buddy began to trust Ethan. His tail, which had always been tucked between his legs, started to wag. His eyes, once filled with fear, now sparkled with gratitude. As the days turned into months, Buddy became Ethan's constant companion. He would wait by the door every morning, tail wagging, ready to join Ethan on his patrols. The townsfolk grew fond of the duo, often smiling as they saw Buddy trotting proudly beside Ethan, his little police badge, a gift from Ethan, gleaming on his collar. Buddy wasn't just a pet. He was Ethan's partner, his confidant, and his family. But their peaceful life was about to be tested. One stormy night, Ethan received a call about a missing child. A little girl named Lily had wandered into the forest while playing, and her parents were frantic with worry. Without a second thought, Ethan and Buddy rushed to the scene. The forest was dark and treacherous, with the rain making the ground slippery and the wind howling through the trees. But Buddy's sharp senses and unwavering determination gave Ethan hope. For hours they searched tirelessly. Buddy led the way, sniffing the ground and following Lily's scent. Just as exhaustion was beginning to set in, Buddy stopped near a cluster of bushes and began to bark. Ethan hurried over and found Lily, shivering and scared but unharmed. He wrapped her in his jacket and carried her back to her parents, who wept with relief. Buddy trotted beside them, his tail wagging proudly. The town hailed Buddy as a hero, and Ethan couldn't have been prouder. But their journey was far from over. A few months later, Ethan received another call, this time about a dangerous criminal who had escaped custody and was hiding in the woods. The man was armed and desperate, and Ethan knew the risks. But duty called, and with Buddy by his side, he ventured into the forest once again. The confrontation was intense. The criminal, cornered and panicked, fired a shot. Without hesitation, Buddy leaped in front of Ethan, taking the bullet meant for his beloved friend. Ethan's heart shattered as he held Buddy in his arms, blood staining his uniform. He rushed Buddy to the nearest vet, praying for a miracle. The vet worked tirelessly through the night, and by some miracle, Buddy survived. But the road to recovery was long and painful. During those weeks, Ethan rarely left Buddy's side. He fed him, cleaned his wounds, and whispered words of encouragement. Buddy, though weak, would always wag his tail at the sound of Ethan's voice. Their bond, already strong, grew even deeper. When Buddy finally recovered, the town celebrated. They honored Buddy as a hero, and Ethan couldn't have been prouder. From that day on, Buddy wasn't just a dog. He was a symbol of loyalty, courage, and unconditional love. Years passed, and Ethan and Buddy grew older together. Their story became a legend in Willowbrook, a reminder that sometimes the strongest bonds are formed in the most unexpected ways. And when Buddy finally closed his eyes for the last time, Ethan knew that his loyal friend would always be with him, in his heart and in every sunrise he patrolled.